Have you noticed something strange lately? Everywhere online, from travel vlogs to TikTok trends to business podcasts, Americans just can't stop talking about Malaysia. Yeah, Malaysia. The country that once quietly grew behind its neighbors has suddenly become the talk of the world in 2025. But why now? Why are Americans suddenly fascinated, impressed, and even a little obsessed with Malaysia? Let's find out. Imagine scrolling through YouTube, and you see an American couple saying, "We thought Thailand was paradise, but Malaysia just blew us away." Then another one, "We moved to Kuala Lumpur, and it's way better than Los Angeles." These aren't random travelers. These are people who've lived in the US their whole lives, and now they're saying Malaysia is the future. So what's happening? The first thing that shocks most Americans is how modern Malaysia has become, but in a uniquely Malaysian way. They expect tall buildings, but not the world-class city planning of Kuala Lumpur. They expect diversity, but not the peaceful coexistence of Malays, Chinese, Indians, and so many others, all blending their traditions without losing their identities. Have you ever walked through Bukit Bintang at night? It feels like New York, but cleaner, safer, and friendlier. Americans see that and go, "Wait, how is this not on the world's top 10 city list?" And then there's Penang. Americans love Penang's mix of old charm and futuristic innovation. You have tech startups sitting beside 200-year-old shophouses, and it somehow works beautifully. It's like time travel with Wi-Fi. But here's the twist, it's not just about tourism. Americans are talking about Malaysia for much deeper reasons. Because in 2025, Malaysia isn't just beautiful, it's strategic. With all the global shifts happening, Malaysia has quietly positioned itself as a bridge between East and West. While others argue about politics and trade wars, Malaysia is saying, "Come, let's do business, peacefully." And Americans are noticing. Did you know that US investments in Malaysia hit record highs this year? American companies are setting up offices, factories, and partnerships because Malaysia offers stability, talent, and opportunity. And it's not just business people. American students are coming to Malaysian universities because education here is world-class but affordable. Retirees are choosing Malaysia for its safety, healthcare, and cost of living. Digital nomads. They're calling Malaysia the underrated Southeast Asian gem. Pause for a second, if you're Malaysian, doesn't that make you proud? Because while others might chase the spotlight, Malaysia earned it naturally. But let's be honest, it's not all about fancy buildings or money. What truly captures Americans' hearts is Malaysia's soul. Ask any traveler what surprised them the most, they'll say the people. The warmth. The smiles. The way Malaysians invite you to eat with them even if you're a stranger. Americans come here expecting just a vacation and leave feeling like they found a second home. Quick question, when was the last time you saw an American tourist eating nasi lemak with their hands, laughing with locals in a night market? It's happening more often than you think. And it's not just the food, though, let's be honest, the food alone could explain the obsession. Americans can't stop posting about char kway teow, roti canai, teh tarik, and durian challenges. They're even comparing Malaysian cuisine to global icons, and often, Malaysia wins. But the real magic is how food connects people. A Malay family, a Chinese hawker, and an Indian chef all serving on the same street, that's Malaysia. That's unity you can taste. Every few minutes, another viral video appears, an American saying, "I thought I was coming for a short trip, but I'm staying." And maybe that's the real reason Americans can't stop talking about Malaysia in 2025, because it reminds them of something they've been missing. A sense of balance. Respect. Simplicity. See, in the US, life is fast. Stress is high. People are tired. But in Malaysia, there's this quiet confidence, a rhythm of life that says, we don't need to show off. We just do things right. That attitude fascinates Americans. And let's not forget Malaysia's recent achievements. In 2025, Malaysia ranked among the top in Asia for digital innovation, green energy, and sustainable tourism. The world watched as Malaysia introduced electric buses nationwide and led eco-initiatives that even Western countries are copying. American journalists started calling Malaysia Asia's best-kept secret, but it's not a secret anymore. Here's a fun twist, American influencers now film from Malaysian cafes saying, "I found the future, and it's in Southeast Asia." their comment sections flooded with Malaysians saying, "Welcome." And when Americans talk about Malaysia, they're not just talking about travel, they're talking about inspiration. How a country that went through ups and downs rebuilt itself with dignity, resilience, and vision. There's one story that always moves people: how Malaysia handled challenges, political shifts, economic tests, even global crises, and kept moving forward. No chaos, no collapse, just calm and progress. Americans admire that. They're even saying Malaysia might be a model for coexistence in a divided world. Think about that: the same Americans who used to think Southeast Asia was developing are now calling Malaysia the country that got it right. Crazy, right? But true. Every few minutes, something new about Malaysia trends, be it Langkawi sunsets, Kuala Lumpur's skyline, or the country's kindness during global disasters. Americans are realizing that Malaysia isn't trying to be like anyone else, it's being proudly Malaysian. And that pride is magnetic. So if you're Malaysian watching this, let me ask you, do you realize how admired your country has become? Americans see the beauty, the brains, the balance, and they can't stop talking about it. And to my American viewers, if you haven't visited yet, maybe it's time. Come see what the world is finally waking up to. Malaysia isn't just a destination, it's a feeling. A living example that peace, diversity, and progress can exist together. And in 2025, Americans are finally saying it out loud: Malaysia isn't just the pride of Asia, it's the world's quiet inspiration. So what do you think? Have you noticed this growing fascination too? Comment your thoughts below, and if you're proud of Malaysia, hit that like button so more people can see the truth behind this global love story. Because one thing's for sure, in 2025, Malaysia isn't following trends. It is the trend.